Get yourself on a plane, get out there, write not one single letter, and just go on a date. Because these girls, they're not going to marry people that write letters, they're going to marry people that get out there and say hello. That's all they want.
So today I want to talk about, a way to get off the couch and into the plane on your way to meet somebody really fantastic. And at some point, guys, we all begin kind of from the same place. We look at a website, we get attracted to the women in the profiles, we get kind of stimulated by all the information that we read and the video testimonials and the happy clients and all that stuff. And at some point we make that first step, whatever that is. For a lot of guys, it's correspondence. I'm going to start writing letters to some beautiful women. I'm going to wait for them to write back, see how that goes. And then at some point, after correspondence develops, I'll decide what to do. And a lot of guys use correspondence to get started, write some great letters, get some great introductions. And then at some point they come to that inevitable fork in the road where they have to make the decision to move on. And I think at that fork in the road, a lot of guys talk themselves out of getting on a plane and finishing the process by meeting somebody and actually just kind of go back to, whatever it is they were doing. Man, why is it exactly that so many guys come so close to getting on the plane and meeting somebody and in the end just don't do it? By the way, about 90% of the women are also wondering that, because we have a whole lot of guys that write letters that never really get on the plane and go and meet somebody. Well, so what happens, guys, is that when you're at that fork in the road, whether you've been corresponding and you're ready to go and meet somebody, or you're just wondering whether or not you should take a trip, do a romance tour with a group of guys, or take an individual tour package, when you come to that fork in the road and it's time to put the money down, make a deposit, do something definitive, I think it's very, very human in that role to start thinking about all the stuff that we're afraid of and lose focus of the things that we know. So we're going to talk a little bit about listening to what you know versus what you fear in this process. So, for example, what are some things that we fear when we come to that fork in the road? Well, obviously we fear failure. We fear that if I make an investment and I get on the plane and I go and meet some of these amazing women, they're not going to like me. And of course, we know that we have a lot to offer somebody that, if you just get introduced, you can certainly have a great conversation, a great courtship, and a great first date. You're fun to be with. You have a healthy respect for women. You've got a great attitude about relationships, and you can make a positive first impression on somebody. Of course you can. We're afraid that maybe we're not going to be good enough for somebody. I'm just from the Midwest. I don't have Bill Gates' money. I don't look like Brad Pitt. There's nothing particularly spectacular about me. I'm just a guy. That might not be enough for some of these incredibly beautiful women who look like they could be international models, right? I know that crosses the minds of a great many men who come to that fork in the road. And then, of course, we've heard for 10 years from the media and other sources, this is just an exercise for desperate women and depraved guys. The women are all living in mud huts over there, waiting to be rescued by somebody who gets on a plane and crosses the Bering Straits and throws them over his back and brings them back to America. And we expect that. And unfortunately, there's some real ding-dongs on the internet who say things like, if the women aren't screened, they're poor and they're desperate, they'll take advantage of you. Just all kinds of silly stuff that we believe because we've been listening for years to that message. Beautiful women don't fall in love with you. We watch those great media stories or exposés on the whole mail order bride thing, it's always some dysfunctional goober and some beautiful girl, and the message to you is, hey, you, ordinary guy, beautiful women don't fall in love with you. What are you doing here? And we just talk ourselves out of getting on the plane and going anywhere and putting ourselves in a social situation where beautiful, yes, absolutely beautiful, but very real, down-to-earth, everyday women are just trying to meet somebody for all the right reasons, right? So what are some of the things that you know? Let's kind of recap that a little bit. You know that you're a good guy with good old-fashioned family values and a healthy respect for women, right? You know that while you may not have Bill Gates' money, you absolutely can support somebody in your life. You can provide, certainly the basics. I mean, you can make somebody happy with your surroundings. You've got a place to live, reliable transportation, and a lot to offer somebody beyond that, of course. You know that beautiful women in Hollywood only fall in love with, handsome actors, I suppose, but you know that there are a lot of beautiful women that are out there that are looking to meet somebody because you've been to our blogs, you've watched the video testimonials, you're looking at footage of a social probably behind me right now, and just count the number of women and the number of men in some of the videos that you see about our social. And just by looking at it that, these are a lot of women who want to meet somebody and they're right there. And all you have to do is put yourself in this scene, take any guy in this picture out of it and put yourself in it and just meet these women just as any of these guys did. And it's really as simple as that, guys. So when you come to the fork in the road and you want to meet somebody and you're wondering whether or not you can, you stop and listen to your reasoning for going forward or not going forward. And you ask yourself, am I listening to what I know? People fall in love around the world, everywhere there are people, every day, for very, very valid reasons. Nobody wrote a rule, can't fall in love with somebody from Texas for all the right reasons, right? Nobody wrote that rule. You know that, so listen to it. You know that you're a good guy with plenty to offer somebody, so listen to that too. And you know that sometimes what you read on the internet and sometimes what you watch on TV isn't 100% real or true. You know that as well. So watch with a critical eye. And if all else fails, guys, talk to people who have done this and who have succeeded, because for every weird little angry bird out there who tells you, the women aren't screened, they're dangerous, they're bad, that person's probably been married to somebody happily that he met at a social, and we probably didn't screen his wife either.
To learn more, visit our website at chinabrides.com.
If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Then click on the notice bell to get notified every time we add something new.